All right, test 1 2 1 2. DJ Sizzle, your DJ's favorite DJ. How are we doing today? Let's just jump right into it. I heard a quote the other day. It was, I'm paraphrase. Um, what you're getting paid right now is a direct reflection of the value you bring to your marketplace. So I guess if we think about that, we have to think about if you're not getting paid really well, is it because you're not adding value to the marketplace? Or is it because there is no marketplace? Well, let's take a look at this for a second. I asked myself a question the other day. I keep hearing these complaints from clients. They complain that, or I don't know if they're complaints. I think they're just more like, oh, please don't do this at my wedding. Please don't do this at my event. Changing the song too fast when everybody's dancing. Too loud. Too loud is a huge one I hear all the time. People are always complaining about the music being way too loud. Way too loud. What's some other complaints I hear? Talking too much. Inappropriate behavior is another one. I heard somebody say something about their DJ was hitting on one of the bridesmaids. No. Bad idea, guys. Bad idea. Showing up late. I hear a lot of cancellations happen last minute. Our DJ canceled on us. We need somebody last minute. I hear that a lot. Professionalism is another thing. They never get back with their emails, phone calls, text messages, any of that. To me, it really comes down to customer service. I think if we kind of break down what we do as DJs, I think, yeah, we're in the DJ business, but we're also in the equipment rental business. Meaning we're bringing equipment out, we're setting it up, and we're using it. So couples are going to be hiring you for your equipment, but also, for your basic MC skills. Personally, I'm not an MC that gets up there and tells jokes and gets all witty and I don't know, I call it cheesy actually, but sometimes that's what you need in a certain crowd. And personally, that's just not me. I love doing announcements. I love doing all the formalities, but getting up there and performing and taking away from the couple is not exactly what I ever want to do. I keep myself very sincere, very humble, and do everything that we need to, pre-plan it all the way out. But yeah, what does it take to be a great DJ? What does it take to be the best in your industry? Maybe your location. Maybe there's not as much competition. Maybe there's more competition. I think a lot of it comes down to planning as well. Planning with your clients, what their needs are, assessing them, making sure that you understand them, asking a lot of questions when you initially talk to them is very important. Most of the times, phone calls won't take more than 10, 15, 20 minutes. Sometimes you don't even have to talk on the phone. Sometimes it'll just be through a chain of emails, which is cool, but you got to answer them right away. I think that makes you really good as well. I think answering them right away. I think research is another big thing. Just researching what other people are doing, not necessarily competing with them, but just kind of researching like other videos, watching crowds, seeing how they react to certain songs, seeing how the DJ treats them. I hear a lot of complaints about DJs not taking requests, DJs not even talking to people when they come up to a request. Myself, I'm super friendly. I love when people come up and talk to me. It gives me more ideas. Like I'll be playing music and stuff, and I'll be like, it'll be going well, and then so he'll come up and say, hey, can you play this song? I'll be like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that song. Thank you. Let's get it up next. I think also like as a great DJ, you have to love all genres of music. You can't just love one genre and be stuck to it. I hear a lot of complaints too where he was only playing one genre of music and it was all rap all night. Now, that could be based on a client preference, but that could also just be the DJ is playing way too much of that, and he didn't plan before with the couple, and the couple didn't really want any of that kind of music, but they didn't know because it's their first event they've ever planned together, so they didn't know that you're supposed to request certain types of music. I think also a great DJ is one that will ask if there's a playlist. of songs that they want played, or if they have a reference playlist. That's really important, because for me, it's like I can build a playlist, but if a couple already has a playlist, then we're gonna win, because I'm gonna be playing exactly what you guys want, and we're gonna keep it moving. If there's not enough songs in that playlist, then I'll probably add some more songs that are very similar artists, maybe another song from that artist, and we'll just keep it moving. I also think you have to have a good knowledge of music history. So you have to understand where music originated from. You have to understand who the hot artist of the moment is right now, predict who the hot artists are coming up. Also know all the decades of music, constantly be researching. There's so many behind the scenes, behind the songs. There's so many documentaries on artists. Watch as much of that as you can. Get it all in your head. You'll understand different instrumentation. Different crowds like different instruments. The other day I was learning about slap bass from the 70s. I kind of knew it, but I watched a whole documentary. I did a whole bunch of research on YouTube videos, and I came out a lot more knowledgeable. I grabbed more music that has slap bass in it, and I understood the history of it. Now, I don't know if that'll translate to becoming a better DJ. Maybe it will. It'll definitely help in, understanding instrumentation, and certain crowds like certain instruments more than other crowds. So if I find a song's working and it has some slap bass in it, I'll grab another song with some slap bass in it, and we'll see how that one goes over. Let's see, what else do I have down here? Answering emails, messages, texts right away. We kind of mentioned that a few minutes ago, but I would say that that's probably the most important part. I have my phone next to me all the time. If it's 11 p.m., a client messages me, I will get back to them as soon as possible. If I'm sleeping, then I'll get back to them as soon as I wake up. I've stretched a little bit, had a little bit of coffee to drink, and then I'll get back to them, and I'll start answering emails and texts right away. Very important though. I would say myself, if I send an email over and I don't hear back in a day or so, I'm kind of like, what's going on here? That's why I like to see the messages right away. As soon as you can get back to them. The next thing is always being grateful. I think that's a big thing. Being thankful for the clients you get, being thankful for your past clients, being thankful for your future clients, very important. I always say a little prayer. I always send a little blessing to all the previous clients, my current clients, and my future clients, just to bless them, and, to really, just encourage that their life goes really well and they get everything that they want in their life. I've always looked at it as being a DJ as a privilege, and it's really one of those things that if you're lucky enough to understand how to use the equipment, understand how to come down there and play a great show, it's really a privilege, and we have to be very thankful for it as DJs, and we have to thank our clients. We have to thank, the people that hire us, and, showing gratitude is very important in my own personal experience. Keeping your commitments. Yeah, keeping your commitments is a huge one. I think the idea that you would promise somebody that you're going to be there at a certain time and then you don't show up is probably the worst thing you can do. I mean, that's not showing up, standing somebody up. I think we've all been there before, and it doesn't feel very good. And it's something that I wouldn't want personally myself. That's a lot of trust, people are putting into you to say that you're going to keep your word. So I definitely say keeping your commitments is a big one. You're only good as your last show. Boy, that's the truth. So I'm always looking for music from the past. I'm always looking for songs that were popular 20 years ago, died off, everybody forgot about them, and then now they're slowly starting to come back up, whether it be through TikTok, Instagram Reels. Maybe there's a hot new remix we haven't heard of. Always be on the lookout for new music that you can improve your shows with. Always think about your show. What did I do well? What was something I could have improved on? There's always room for improvement. And there's always it's always good to kind of like critically look at yourself from everybody else's perspective. Again, the most important people in the room are the people that hire you. So make sure that they're always happy with the performance that you give that night. Let's see, what's another one here? Being super prepared. It means having a backup of a backup. It means knowing if this goes wrong, you're going to do this. It means if you have to run down to FedEx and make a photocopy of the wedding outline, do it, in case, take a screenshot of the wedding outline in case the place you're going has no internet access or it's super slow. At least you can pull it up on your phone. Always have an extra charger with you. Always have extra batteries. Always have extra. So being super prepared is very important. Always being chill, laid back. Sure, we can do that. No problem. Very important. Very important. So organizational skills are definitely a big part of everything. Always organize everything the night before you go out for your show. Always make sure everything's sitting there. It'll take the stress off. If you have to get a checklist so you don't forget anything, I highly recommend that as well. Let's talk about quality control. So quality control can be anything from looking at your equipment, does it still look fresh, to what are you wearing? Is it still fresh? Is it faded? Is it just not appropriate anymore? Is it outdated? Is it clean? All that stuff, very important. So making sure that quality control is good. Also your music, make sure your music sounds great. Make sure when you're mixing, all the levels are good. Make sure you're not annoying people with the music being too loud. Make sure the music isn't too low, but also be clear about that. Asking questions about the event, very important. One of the biggest questions I always ask is, is explicit content okay, or do you want to keep it radio family friendly? And that is probably one of the most well-respected questions that when people hear, they're just like, this, there's not really going to be any kids there or anybody, that's going to get offended. So explicit's fine. You don't have to throw a lot in there, but it's fine. We're not like, oh no, a bad word. And then sometimes it's like, well, we should probably keep it radio friendly because, there's some people there that might get offended by that. And we don't want to offend our guests. We want to make sure that they have a great time. So lots of questions about the events. Very important. Put together a questionnaire if you can. Go through it with potential clients. They'll really appreciate you for it, and it'll make you look really well prepared. Sharp dress. We kind of already talked about all that. So yeah, I think all in all, I think customer service is the big thing. So asking a lot of questions and making sure that you're super prepared and looking really good for the part is very important. I think in standing out within your industry, and just being thankful, being very thankful that you are getting jobs and that you are continually getting hired and you're continually trying to improve who what you put on as a performance from the last one to the next one, because everything changes every day. Time goes by quick. These are things that we know and we can count on. So, all right. Well, I think that's about it for today. All right. This is DJ iSizzle. Thank you for watching. Like, share, don't like, don't subscribe. Subscribe if you want. Leave a comment if you want. Do what you want. All right. Until next time, this is DJ iSizzle signing off. And I want to say thank you again. Talk to you soon.